Hello everyone, my name is Sam Huber. I am the founder of Advir, with the first monetization platform for immersive technologies like VR and AR. And today I want to talk about the inevitability of immersive technologies. We all know that VR and AR are cool, but what is the trend behind it that is going to propel it into the next media revolution? So I want to talk about that first and then show a little bit about what we are doing at Advir, how we're planning to monetize this industry. So a little bit about me. I'm an entrepreneur. I live in London. I've been there for the past 5 years. I used to work as an engineer in the Formula One industry. In 2012, I saw a big boom in mobile, so I left to create a mobile game studio. We were lucky enough to sell one of our games. I then work in e-commerce, and for the past 18 months, I've been focusing on immersive technology with Advir. So why is VR and AR the next media revolution? Well, the first clue when we want to talk about this question is looking at the history of media. We went from telling stories with text to audio to pictures to videos. So it's pretty clear that there is a trend here. We've always tried to get closer to the action, more immersed into it, to carry the truth better, but also the emotions, the empathy of the content. So when I tried VR for the first time in 2014, for me it was just a natural evolution. It's just the next step coming after video, being immersed into that content. And whether it's VR or also mixed reality, augmented reality, the key really is that this media doesn't have a screen. It removes this barrier between yourself and between the content. And that's really the key. So we see all kinds of application beyond this type of gimmicks. Already in business, in education, real estate, training, medical field, for example. Now, what's really exciting for us is not the application in a couple of business fields, but it's really that every one of us, all of us, will be wearing those devices. And we think that is going to happen in the next decade or so. So the reason why we think that, of course, for a technology to become mainstream, there needs to be a massive value for the user. And we think that the value that mixed reality is bringing to the table is mostly it's going to save us time. Time is our most precious commodity. It doesn't matter where you are, who you are, how rich you are, everyone has the same fixed supply of time, 24 hours a day. However, there's more and more information being pushed to us. So let's have a look at this graph. This graph shows the amount of data that is being created worldwide every year. And so if you look at, for example, from 2016 to 2017, every 2 years, we create more data that we have created ever before. More data between 2016 and 2017 than from year 0 to 2015. And that trend it keeps on increasing. So that means more information. Not all that information is consumed by us humans. A lot of it is consumed by artificial intelligence that then extract trends for us. But at the end of the day, it's just a lot of data. And so we have this fixed supply of time and more information to consume. So the abundance of information really created a scarcity of attention. Our attention span is lower and lower, but we're spending more and more time engaging with that content. For example, we've been spending an hour a day more on our smartphone this year than we were 3 years ago. And that trend keeps going. So you can see in the future, if that trend continues, we're going to end up spending all our times on our mobile. So my point with this analogy is showing that we need a new interface to cope with that amount of content. And we believe that mixed reality is that interface. Mixed reality doesn't force you to spend 100% of your attention on the device. When you look at an email on your phone, you have to look at your phone. With mixed reality, because it overlays content with the real world, you can do both. You can be cooking and still have this important email coming up. Or you can be in a shop and still have a video conference in the corner of your eye. So at the end of the day, it's going to bring tremendous value, but most importantly, it's going to allow us to multitask and save our precious time. And so that's just a little example to show, I'm sure most of you know it, but how it would work and how the content can really be integrated with our lives. So the question that we were asking ourselves about 18 months ago is, okay, there's going to be a lot of 3D content, a lot of mixed reality content all around us. How is that going to be monetized? There are developers that are going to create this content, just like people developing websites or apps, which obviously need to make money. So how are they going to monetize this new interface, this new way to consume content? Well, if you look at how it works currently on the web or on mobile, most of it is monetized by advertising. But the way that advertising works, it's very intrusive. It doesn't create a great experience. It's two-dimensional, and it focuses on metrics that just won't work for immersive technologies. So basically, we identified a gap, a big opportunity, in which we would develop a platform to enable VR, AR developers to monetize their content with new rules for advertising, rules that respect the geometry of this new media. And so that's Advir. I've been working at it for the past 18 months, and we're really taking an approach to give developers the control over where public advertising content will appear within their experience. So the idea is that if you have a 3D content, whether it's a game in VR, a social experience, maybe a real estate content, whatever it is, what you can do using our technology, it's identify areas of your content where you want advertising content to appear. And once you do that, what we're doing is we sell it directly to advertisers. So what we've doing so far, it's been monetizing social experiences, games. We can support videos. We can place any type of banners, videos, but also 3D placements. And again, the idea is to create an experience where the user doesn't even know that this is a placement. You think it's part of the experience, right? You can go next to that pizza box, you can open it, see what's in it, interact with it. And at the same time, you're getting a great experience with the brand without even knowing it. That works also in augmented reality, and we're starting to do project in mixed reality as well. So, and that's just a video to show how it works. So the idea is, like I said, is giving developer control over where stuff happens in their experience. And by doing that, we can make sure that the placement remains non-intrusive and also very relevant. What becomes really interesting is starting to understand what's in the scene to further increase this relevance. So we're currently working on a couple of different technologies to understand the virtual reality content, but also what's the augmented reality content, and to make sure that the placement, the brands are relevant to what is happening in the scene. So most of the campaigns that we've run so far are fairly basic, mostly video placement or banner placement, but we were really astonished to find the results. We found a 29% engagement with the audience. That means almost a third of the users actively looked at the placement. We know that because we can track where people are looking. We can keep track of that, which is very valuable information for advertisers as well. Now, if you compare that figure with the web, where engagement is less than 1%, you really understand that this is a new way to market, a new way to promote your products. The main reason why the figures are so different is because on the web, the advertising content always competes with the actual content for your attention. You might be reading this article, and then there's this video on the side, but you don't really want to look at it. You just want to focus on your content, on your article. Similarly with pre-rolls on YouTube. Here in virtual and augmented reality, because there is no more screen, there is no more limitation for brands to get involved. They are literally part of the scene, just like in the real world. So when your users discover the scene, they also discover the sponsored content. And it's down to you, the advertiser, and also to the developer to make sure that this is tightly related. One of the other statistics is the brand recall, how many people actually remember the brands that they've seen. And I ask you, last time you browsed the web, do you remember any of the ads that you've seen? Probably not. So 67% is just a tremendous statistic here. So now, this is what we've done so far. We know that this is fairly standard still. It's literally placing branded elements into an experience. And because of that, the developers can monetize. Something that we've been working on for the past few months is finding new ways for developers to monetize beyond advertising. And so there's something that we're really passionate and excited about at Advir, and all the fans of virtual reality should be as well. And that's what we call the Metaverse. And the Metaverse is a science fiction term that comes from a book called Snow Crash, and then it's been used over and over into other books. And it's this idea that there is this digital universe on top of our universe. All the games, all the web, all the virtual reality experiences can be grouped into this digital layer, and you can navigate it if you wear the right device. And so we were starting to think, now there's already a lot of VR, AR content. Is there a way to link all this content? Right now, if you're using a virtual reality application, and you want to go into another one, you need to close this one, go back to the menu in the device, and then open the new one. So is there any other way, a more seamless way to travel virtual reality? And so this is what I'm presenting to you now. It's still in a beta stage, but you'll get a good idea of what it is. You can send a video, please. So that's the idea. It's been shot directly in the experience, so that's why it's a bit shaky, but you've basically seen a user in the first experience, which is a social world called Somnium Space, finding this portal in the experience, get in this portal and choose from a list of destination, the other apps that he has installed, and then by pressing on that button, in the background we switch app and open the user experience in the other app. And so the idea with this is, at the moment, very basic, just allowing people to travel, but it's also bring, of course, we are a monetization solution, so the idea is that the developers can drag and drop this portal in their experiences to allow users to leave their experiences to go to other experiences. When a user leaves your experience, you get paid by the other app. So it's a way to monetize VR beyond advertising. And so this is just to show a little bit of the other type of ideas that we have, how we can monetize those worlds while creating great experiences. So if any of you are developers and want to try it out, I'd love to talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Samuel. Is there any question in the room for Samuel? Just raise your hand. Okay. Oh, yeah, we've got one. At the top of the room. Thank you so much.
You're based in London. So
Yes.
I'm wondering if the way in which you have worked with companies has been, what is the difference between working in London, that it's a very, I feel, developed environment in terms of marketing and also, well, advertisement compared to continental Europe? That's my first question. Second is if you blog, if you have a blog.
So the first question, well, I've never worked on this side, so I don't really know. But I know that there's obviously a big ad tech ecosystem, a lot of agencies in London. So that's one of the reasons why we were based there. But we see a lot of activity in Paris. We work with some French developers, because we're connected programmatically to any type of advertisers worldwide. We're really not limited to that location. Obviously, LA, San Francisco is a big hub, but also the Nordics. Asia is big as well, so it's in no way limited to London. We're starting to ramp up our marketing. So to respond to your second question, we are going to push a blog out in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned.
Anyone else? Yeah, okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I have a very small question. It's like if I go shopping in a big shopping mall with a desk of virtual reality, can I choose that my eye can I choose not to be tracked? I don't know how to say it.
No, I think I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not up to us. You know, developers would integrate our technology within their content. So whatever they want to track, we can track for them. But at the end of the day, it's not our responsibility to decide what is tracked or not. It's the content that you're using. We are not providing the content here. We're just helping them monetize.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
And just the last one. Okay, thank you very
Thank you,
much.
guys.
Thank you. Have a nice day.